All right, we got 5 minutes on the clock, and I'm going to go through some details on how to get booked on a business podcast. My name is Josh, and I run 4 podcast shows. I'm not going to share them all now, but let's dive into the topic. Every day, I have PR firms reaching out to me. I have hundreds of people wanting to get on our different types of shows. So if you're a podcast host, like this is a normal, whether through Matchmaker, FM, or Podmatch, these are some great services to find guests and to maybe get booked on shows. And there's a lot of firms out there that just consistently pitch new guests on your show. So everybody wants to get on your show once you have a podcast show. So if you're a guest in trying to get on a business podcast show, there's lots of competition, is what I'm trying to say. I've done 2,000 interviews over the years of doing this, and people will relentlessly try to get on your podcast show. Just this morning on Matchmaker, someone reached out to me and they said, I want to be on your show. I'm looking to get, it's a copy and paste message. I run 4 shows and I could see the same message of each show. So they'll copy and paste messages. Hey, I want to be on a high quality show. This is who I am and this is what I do. Right. And this is the message that they share. And they're copying and pasting it on each of my shows. And I get to see this. So and this is what I hate. Do not do this. And then they go, I'm just bumping this to the top of your message. If you don't respond to them, I'm just bumping you. They do that to me on LinkedIn and on these different platforms. I'm just bumping. Nobody wants to be bumped. Okay. So don't do that. So here are some tips on how to get on someone's podcast show. 1, download and listen to an episode. Find an episode that you like, listen to it. Write a review. Good, bad, ugly, whatever. It'll probably help if you write a good review. Write a review, right? Do that on Apple Podcast, on Spotify, anywhere, right? Write an awesome review. Write a description of what you loved about that episode and share it on one of your channels. LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. Tag the host, tag the guest, right? So you're automatically adding value before you're asking for the podcaster to invest their time, energy, effort, and resources into you as a guest. So you've downloaded it, you've reviewed it, you've shared it. Now you've done that before even making an ask. Then you go back and you send a message to the podcast host. This is the gold. I found your interview with so-and-so. I listened to it. I thought it was awesome. Here was my favorite part of it, right? So you're writing just 1 or 2 sentences to show that you've paid attention to their art, right? And that you're a potential fit. So I've listened to your episode. Here's some things that I gathered from it. I gave you an awesome review because I think you're great and I want to help other people find your podcast. I gave you a shout out on our channels, and I would like to know if you'd be open to having me on your podcast show, right? You can add these things, right? Just that message will get the majority of podcasters' attention. Now you got to think of this. There's this thing, WIFFM or something. What's in it for? No, WIIFM, Zig Ziglar. What's in it for me? If you can do this for the podcast host pitch, right? Like if you want to be on a show, hey, I'd like to be on your show. This is what I could add to value your audience. This is what's in it for your audience. And I have a free giveaway for them, right? So this is how I could benefit your audience. This is how I could benefit you, right? So when anybody in the audience, follows this link or something, I'm happy to give you a reward of some sort. Or I'm going to share this with my 30,000 followers on LinkedIn. I'm going to share it with my huge email list. I commit to you that I'm going to create 20 pieces of content, and I'm going to introduce, 5 guests to you from my network. So what you're doing is you're going to the podcaster and you're not just saying, hey, I'd like to be on your show. This is what I could talk about. I'm awesome. You're going and you say, I've done something for you already. I've reviewed, I've shared, I believe in your mission. I've paid attention. I'm going to benefit your audience. I'm going to add value to them by giving them something and doing something for them. And then after our interview, I'm going to do all of this extra work for you because I want it to be a win for you, a win for your audience, and also a win for me. That's how to get booked on other people's podcast shows. So don't bump anybody. If you follow those steps, you will get on podcast shows. you'll get on my podcast show, guaranteed. Josh, podcast host army. Talk to you next time.